Happy St. John the Baptist Day and happy 300th anniversary to all my lodge brothers everywhere. This is Maynard Edwards, host of the Tyler's Place podcast. I mentioned that these are two holidays that Masons celebrate in no order of importance. I'm not selecting one over the other. St. John the Baptist Day is today. June 24th is the day we celebrate. And June 24th, 1717, the United Grand Lodge of England declares that this is the 300th anniversary, as tradition holds, of Freemasonry. So we've got a couple of different things to celebrate. Now, scholars with greater minds than I will debate the importance of the particular date with regard to the anniversary of Freemasonry, whether this is the real date, whether it's not, and I don't want to get into that because what I'd like to do is take advantage of this anniversary and St. John the Baptist Day to just talk a little bit about what Masonry means in my life. And maybe you'll share the story of what it means in your life with us on the podcast. Interestingly, I was doing a little reading in preparation for doing this little quick broadcast, which, by the way, I'm doing live. So if I goof something up, you're going to get to hear the goof ups live. And no cheating and editing like I normally do. But at any rate, I was looking it up, and it turns out that one of the reasons that St. John the Baptist has been selected as one of the patron saints of Masonry is due to the fact that he is the one who brings us the statement, peace on earth, goodwill towards men. And if that's not a great summation of what Freemason really at its core should be about, I don't know what is. So embracing that and embracing the opportunity to celebrate the 300th anniversary of Freemasonry, just wanted to share with you a little experience that I had just this past week. In my town, just outside of Baltimore, Maryland, a new lodge has opened, and I had the opportunity this past week to preside in the East when we brought in an entered apprentice. And it was a pretty neat experience for me. It's the first time I've had the opportunity to do this from the East. And so I really did enjoy that. But sitting in the lodge with myself and all the linesmen and this new entered apprentice was a man named John. And John is 60 years old. John has been a Mason for 60 years. Let me see, there's one of those goof ups I was talking about. John has been a Mason for 60 years. Became a Mason in 1958. Was active in lodge for a while, then had his family, wasn't as active, became more active. Then his lodge merged with another lodge that was kind of across town, and he had trouble getting back and forth there. So now John is well into his 80s, and it wants to become active in lodge again. And this is a very meaningful thing to me, because here's what John stepped forward and said and what John did. John, at the end of the evening, when you tell the candidate that he's going to have to go through a catechism and memorize a part of the ceremony and so on and so forth, I say, well, we'll assign you an instructor, so there's somebody who will help you out with that. John pulls me aside later on and says, when this man gets his catechism, could I go through with him and learn alongside him? Now, John is a master Mason in good standing and has been nonstop since 1958. This man learned his catechism, served the craft, stepped away because of work, because of family obligations, because of distance of his own home lodge, etc., etc. But these lessons in Masonry were so powerful to him that here at his age, a man who has worked for his community, for his home, for his family, for the craft, for all these many years, now these lessons are so important to him. He wants to go back and do them again. And I think that was a really special thing. And so now a young Mason, a young entered apprentice with no knowledge, is going to learn alongside this man who has 60 years of experience. And they're going to sit together as equals and learn this. And I just thought that was one of the most powerful and moving lessons of Freemasonry I've ever had the blessing to witness. I'm sure in your travels you have witnessed something that has moved you and reminds you why you are a Mason. And as a special little anniversary present to me, I'm asking a favor. If you have a story to share, if you're out celebrating that 300th anniversary, because I know lodges all over the country are doing special dinners. I know the Grand Lodge of England is doing something huge. If you're doing something, if you're celebrating, if you have a story to share, take a minute for your old brother Maynard. Send it to me at podcast@scottishrite.org, because I want to share it in the coming weeks with the guys, because I was just so moved by John and this young entered apprentice who are going to be learning together side by side, that I know there are more stories out there like that, and I want to hear them. So if you would do that for me, I would certainly appreciate it, and I hope you'll tune in to further episodes of the Tyler's Place podcast. Happy St. John the Baptist Day, and of course, happy 300th anniversary to all Master Masons wheresoever dispersed. The email address is podcast@scottishrite.org. I'm Maynard, and thanks for tuning in as always.